Like when you get the word you're starting the second half, you're playing the Jimmy role. How did you prepare yourself for that?
Can't really prepare yourself to be Jimmy. But I just went out there and just played as hard as I could on both ends of the floor. So, Jimmy couldn't go, so I just had to step up and do what I could. And fortunately, we got a win.
What's it say for this team that you can tough out a win like this here without him in the second half?
We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. We're a very deep team, unfortunately he couldn't go, and we all had to step up. Not only myself, you know what I'm saying, Bam, Kyle, Max, DJ, and the list goes down. And it was a collective team win for sure.
Vic, you've been a part of a lot of different teams, a lot of different locker rooms. What sticks out about this group of guys?
We just hungry. I mean, there's no other way to put it than that. I mean, we just hungry. We demand a lot of each other. And we demand a lot of ourselves as well. So I think that's what makes us unique.
Vic, you've never been this deep in a playoff run. What's different when you reach these levels of the playoffs compared to what you previously experienced in the postseason?
It's a lot harder all the time. I mean, it's basically the biggest difference. Like you said, in my career, my first 3 years, I wasn't even sniffing the playoffs. Fourth year, got a great first playoff experience. Then the year after that, I went to the playoffs again, lost in the first round to Bron. And after that, I've just been hurt ever since then. So, but I'm glad to be here. I'm fortunate, blessed. Thank God for the ability to play this game and to compete at this level. So, just making the most of it.
Victor, the way the series has gone, it's been the team that got punched is the one to come out and respond, and now you guys are trying to not have that happen, to avoid that. Is there a way that you're looking at what has happened in these losses or these wins that you're trying to kind of say, okay, how can we rattle off 2 in a row as opposed to have this huge pendulum swing continue to go back and forth?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we have to come with the same mentality, same approach as if we did just get our behinds kicked, and we have to understand, and I think we have an understanding that it's not going to be easy on tomorrow, excuse me. We got to have that approach like we are the underdogs, because essentially we are. So we got to go into another environment, hostile environment, just like last night, and play a team that's desperate, and so are we. So.
PJ made a pretty specific comment about your defense last night. He said he told you it was some of the best lateral mobility on defense he had ever seen. Did you feel like it was one of your best defensive performances?
I was just playing. I couldn't even tell, to be honest with you. I was just playing hard. I didn't even really notice what I was doing. I was just trying to play as hard as I can, get lost in the game, make it tough on those guys. We got some talented guys over there, talented wings, and just trying to play as hard as I could and make it tough on them. But I appreciate that, PJ. I appreciate the love.
Were you specifically trying to get steals, live ball turnovers, rather than playing more straight up? Were you trying to create offense?
I was just trying to make it tough. So if I could get my hand on the ball, I'd try to get my hand on the ball and get us more possessions. So I was just playing defense.
Victor, how's this whole experience?
Given the last 3 years, it's understandable that, like you said, you get lost in the game because you're just so happy to be out there. But when you go back and you look at your stats, and you think about it, rerun it in your mind, what are you most proud of, given just the way the last 3 years have gone? What are you most proud of about the way you're playing?
I think I would say just being resilient, our resiliency, understanding that, that I have a purpose, understanding that, I've come such a long way in a year, and there's a reason for it. So just going out there, like I said, man, and just playing as hard as I can on both ends of the floor, doing what is needed on this team. I understand it's a new situation. I understand it's a new role. know what I'm capable of. I'm sure a lot of people know what I'm capable of as well. But on this team, you know, I have to be a star in my role, and I understand it. That's what I focus on doing. So I'm most proud of my patience. I think that's the biggest thing, because you go through what I've been through, it tests it. You know, I'm still human now. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect or anything, but, you know, my patience has grown over the years. I guess you could say it's a little bit of wisdom, I guess, but I think that's what I'm most proud of, and I just got to keep working on it and getting better at it.
Victor, the team is also patient with you. Does that give you a greater sense of loyalty to this franchise because they were willing to wait for you to get right again?
Yeah, I mean, it just speaks volumes. I mean, you know, they traded for me for a reason. You know, they could have just, you know, said no, thank you after, you know, I got hurt again. But, you know, they stuck with it. They believed that, you know, I could come back to this. What's crazy is there's still so much room to grow for myself. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to growing.
Victor, there's been a little bit of national chatter that the Celtics have won more quarters of the game than you. Is that something you guys hear? Do you acknowledge it? Do you laugh it off? Because obviously you're up 2-1 in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it's basketball, so I think we understand it. And, you know, we just want to win basketball games. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it is a quarter game, quarter by quarter. So, you know, I'm not certain of the exact stat, but if they've won more quarters than we have, well, I'm sure we're pretty aware of it. So, even more incentive to feel like we lost last night, and we'll go with that mentality in the next game.
All right, Victor, thank you very much.
All right.